Record. Hi guys, welcome to Kubrick Shara. So guys, in today's session, we are going to see client-server architecture. Okay, so we'll try to understand the client-server architecture step by step by using some simple examples. Okay, and we'll try to understand what do we exactly mean by a client-server architecture. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. So in client server architecture, okay, let me erase this first of all. So in client server architecture, there are mainly two main entities. Okay, one will be obviously client. Okay, so client is something, right, who is a service requester. Okay, client is something or someone who will be requesting for a certain service. Okay, so we can refer client as a service requester. Okay, and server is something, okay, who is a request responder. Okay, so client will be requesting for a certain service and server will respond to that particular request, as simple as that. So first of all, if we see, right, client and server, they both are communicating with each other, right? One is requesting something and one is responding something. So can I say, right, that basically what is happening here is client is basically sending one request for a certain service. Okay, it is sending a request for a certain service. Okay, whereas server is responding to this particular client. Okay, is responding with that particular to this particular client basically. So let us take one simple example, right? So let's say for an example, on one fine day, right, you wake up in the morning and you pick up your phone and you open the WhatsApp application to just check whether there are any new messages in there or not. Okay. So this is a simple scenario, right? We normally do this, okay, on the regular basis. So I want you to focus here on certain aspects here. So what we are doing here, basically, let's try to elaborate this scenario a bit. Okay. So first of all, what we are doing is we are opening the WhatsApp application. Okay. We are opening a WhatsApp application. And second thing is we are just checking if there are any new messages. Okay. That is simple as that. So let's try to analyze this scenario a bit. So this task, right, of opening an WhatsApp application, basically, it is, let's say for an example, you use an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever, right? So let's say for an example, you are using, for an example, let's say you are using a Redmi phone, right? Redmi One Note for an example. So this task, right, of opening in WhatsApp application, you just tap on the WhatsApp icon on your home screen. The moment you type on the WhatsApp icon, in the back, it basically opens the WhatsApp application. So in the background, normally, guys, what happens is this task of opening in WhatsApp application, it is actually handled by the mobile OS, right? So opening an application, right? This task is actually handled by mobile OS. Okay, so there are two entities here, right? One is a service requester, right? Service requester, and another is a request responder, right? So who is requesting for a service here? The service is nothing but just opening an WhatsApp application. So that service requester will act as a client. In this case, right? In this case, it is nothing but it is us who is trying to open the mobile application. But if we elaborate a bit, actually it is not us, right? We are using one interface, right? Through which we are requesting mobile OS to open the WhatsApp application for us. And that interface is nothing but the mobile touch screen, right? So there is whole lot of programming, right? That just to understand this human touch and to convert it into the machine language so that mobile recognizes that you want it to request mobile OS to open a certain application, WhatsApp in this case. Okay, as simple as that. Now, the second entity here is the request responder, right? That is nothing but server, right? That we call it as a server. In this case, it is nothing but it is a mobile OS, right? So this is a very simple task, right? So here what we are doing is we are as a client, right? Through mobile interface, we are requesting the server, that is mobile OS in our case, to open WhatsApp application for us, right? As simple as that. Now server, what it will do is, right, it will recognize, mobile OS will recognize that, yeah, right, if there will be programming right here, if you guys come from Java background, then will be knowing that we normally do programming like this, right? So in this case, it could be something like if client touches, or let's say taps on WhatsApp icon, right, then what to do? So let's say there is a method called launch, right? Launch WhatsApp application, right? WhatsApp application, as simple as that, right? It could be any application here, but for simplicity, I am writing WhatsApp application. So this is just for understanding purpose, guys. So there has to be something like that, right? And they might be also handling some error scenarios. In certain cases, WhatsApp application might not open. Then in that case, they might write something like that. Let me remove it from here and type it here so that you guys can see. Else, let's say for an example, we are printing something on screen that error. It could be any error, right? As simple as that. So basically, guys, what happens is the moment we tap on the WhatsApp application, then basically mobile OS will be running some code in the background. Okay, so that acts as a server. That mobile OS basically calls this method for us. Okay, there has to be some method there. Okay, this will be within some method. Let's say it could be any method like open app or something like that. It could be any method, right? Like the way we write in Java, right? So it could be any method that, as simple as that. So the moment we give command to our mobile that open the WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp application, then it will basically, that mobile OS will be calling this method for us. It will run this method for us, and basically, right, it will open the mobile or application, I mean WhatsApp application for us, right? As simple as that. So in this case, if you see, right, if you see the client, that is basically the interface, right, and the server, right, they both reside on the same hardware, right? Hardware is same. right? That is a mobile, that is our mobile, as simple as that. And mobile OS, right? That server that is acting as a server, they both reside on the same hardware, right? So that is this example. Okay. Now the second task is checking if there are any messages, right? So here, if you see, we are opening the WhatsApp application. Let's say for an example, internet is turned off in our mobile. It is not turned on. Then in that case, again, there will be some code written, right? That if, for an example, net is equal, let's say on, right? Then it will again be calling one WhatsApp server, right? It will be calling WhatsApp server to fetch new messages, right? I'm trying to simplify this task for us so that it is easier for us to understand, right? Fetch new messages, something like that. Else, right? Else, just throw error. It might throw an error, right? Like, let's say for an example, else it will throw an error like no internet connection. That is what we normally see in our mobile, right? So this is how it might work, right? So here again, I want you to understand this, right? So here in this case, mobile OS, it is basically in this scenario, it is calling a WhatsApp server here, right? So here, mobile OS, it is acting as an client for us, right? So let's say this is a mobile OS, simple, right? Mobile OS, or yeah, let me write like this. So this is mobile OS. It is acting as a client here. Okay. So it is sending one request here. If you see, right, it is sending one request, okay, to the WhatsApp server. Let me actually use this arrow symbol here. So it is sending one request, right? It is sending one request on, okay. So it is actually sending one request for fetching new messages, right? To, to, to whom? To WhatsApp server, right? WhatsApp server, right? WhatsApp server that for this and this client, please fetch new messages if there are any, right? Again, here in this case, WhatsApp server needs to check something, right? That if, let's say, it will be needing certain details, right? First detail is client ID, right? Client ID is nothing but mobile number of us, right? So let's say my mobile number is different, right? Your mobile number will be different. So it needs to know the client ID, right? And basically there will be some method here, right? Of, let's say, there will be some method of get messages on the WhatsApp server, right? They would have saved somewhere in their databases, right? In their databases, they would have saved WhatsApp messages, whatever are available for for this client ID, right? And the moment it receives this request, what it will do basically is it will check if there are any messages available for this particular client ID. What it will do is it will simply uh, send that messages back to the client, right? And in turn, it will be able to show us new messages back, right? So this is, guys, a simple example of a client server architecture. Uh, and that this is the example that this is the task that we normally perform on the day-to-day basis, right? So now whenever you try to open WhatsApp and you see new messages, right, you'll understand that what exactly happens in the background, right? So this is the client server architecture basically, right? Now as per Wikipedia, right, if you go to Wikipedia, right, they have one definition that they have given about the same. So let us go to Wikipedia. Okay. Okay. Let me not open this, but wait. Okay. So let me go to Chrome. Okay. Let me go to Google Chrome and let me open that actually for us to understand. Okay, it is not opening. Let's try it again. Okay. So let me open Google Chrome app. Somehow I'm not able to open it. Let me do something to open it. Okay, let's open it in our own profile. Okay. I think you will be not be able to see this thing. Let me erase all this. Let me erase everything here. Okay. Hope it is visible. Let me remove everything. Okay. So, okay, I have removed everything. Okay, or else we can simply clear all drawings. Okay, let me close this. Okay, so let us go to Wikipedia, guys, and search for client server architecture, right? So let's go to Wikipedia. That is the trusted source, okay, most of the time. Okay, so if we see here, I want you to look down here, okay. I want you to focus on this particular definition. What it says is, so the client server model is a distributed application structure, okay, that partitions the tasks or workloads between the providers of a resource or service called servers and service requesters called clients, right? So it is a model, right? It is a model as we have seen in our earlier examples. So there are two entities here. One is a client, okay, and one is a server. Is a distributed application structure, right? So in the application, this and in this model, right, basically it is a distributed application structure. Why we say it is a distributed application structure? Because if you see, right, the task is clearly divided. So the task of a client, right, is nothing but to request for a certain service or a resource, right? While the task of a server is nothing but to respond to that particular request, right? So if this client, basically in our example, we were we were requesting for the new messages, right? So messages in our case was a resource, right? We were requesting for giving back us our messages, whatever messages we have. We were requesting WhatsApp server to return those messages to us. Then the task of a server was to respond to that request and uh, to give back messages if there are any to us, right? So that is the task of a server, to respond to the request, and the task of a client is to request for a resource or a service, right? So hence it is saying that it is a distributed application structure, right? Now, if you see, right, often clients and servers, they communicate over a computer network, right, on a separate hardware. So in our case, uh, mobile OS was on one hardware, that is on our phone. While WhatsApp server, obviously that is on a different hardware, right? That would be on the different hardware. But both client and server, they may reside in the same system, right? In our example, right, very first step was to open the WhatsApp application, right? In that case, again, mobile OS was on the same hardware, and the interface of a mobile, that is also on the same hardware, right? So that is the example wherein both client and server was in the same system, right? Again, if you see a server host, it runs one or more server programs which share their resources with the clients, right? So server could be only one, but clients could be multiple, right? So WhatsApp server could be only one, right? But clients, once that one WhatsApp server could handle many different clients, right? At the same time, as simple as that. The next thing is a client usually doesn't share any of its resources, right? Client won't share any of its resources normally, right? So we were not sharing any of our resources, right? We normally, client will normally request for a resource or a service, right? As simple as that. Now, certain examples are given here, right? One of the example is email, right? Normally we share, normally when we send an email to someone, right? So that is again an example of a client server model, right? Because if you see, right, if you go to, let's say for an example, let me go to Gmail for an example. Right. If you go to Gmail, right, let me remove this drawings actually. We can clear our drawings also. Okay, let me remove this. Okay. Okay. So if you sign in, right, let me sign into Gmail. Okay. Now, this is again an example, right, of client server architecture. Okay, so the moment we sign into Gmail, let me sign in to Gmail. Let's say the moment we sign into Gmail, right? So there are many examples of client server architecture actually. So here, if you see, right, what I have done is I have simply signed into the Gmail account, my Gmail account. Okay, so here also, if you see, this is a client server architecture. Why? Because what I am doing here is, right, as a client, right, what we are doing is, if you observe here, so as a client in the background, we were sending a request to Gmail server, right, to Gmail server. The request is to fetch the whatever emails are there, right? I want to fetch all my emails, right? So that is the request I'm sending to the Gmail server. And the Gmail server, what it is doing is it is responding to that request and it is sending back all the emails that are associated with my account to me, to the client. Okay. So this is an example of a client server architecture again. So Gmail again is an example of the same thing, right? So I hope guys, it is clear to you now what do we mean by a client server architecture. There are many examples actually. Okay. Uh, so what you can do is basically you can uh, go to Wikipedia and refer back this article of a client server model if you want to further, I mean, want to understand this in more detail. Do some hands-on around it. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, then please hit the like button and do subscribe to this channel for more of such videos. Thanks for watching.